guys, welcome back to a brand new Minecraft video. Wow, it's been a long time for me. And if you have been on my YouTube for a while, you would have seen many of my videos of satisfying sand drop. I figured it's about time that I show you how to do a few so you can do it by yourselves, and maybe you can make a video of your own. So let's get started. Alright, so in this tutorial there are going to be 4 different parts. We're going to start easy and then get to the very difficult stuff where you see me doing patterns, designs, but again, we'll start very simple. So first you have to grab a few things you need. You're going to need redstone dust, a lever, redstone repeater, stone, sticky piston, maybe grass if you mess up, and most important, bone coat sand or the concrete they'll use. For me, I'm using light, but you can really use any one of them or just plain sand. So first of all, you want to map out the design you want to make. So because we're starting easy, we're going to do a simple line. So we'll start here and build out from each side, just making a line of the concrete part or the sand. So once you got the line, it can be however long you want. I wouldn't make it too long though. Start from the very corner, like so. And you might have to build up for this, but basically you want to take your stone and start building upwards. If you already have floating stone, then you don't have to do this, but if this is your first time, which is most likely is, you have to build up. So for me, I already had some stone here, so once you do that, just make a bridge right there, and then you can delete the rest or break the rest, because we won't need this for the rest of the time. So now we have our stone that's in the air. We're going to start from this block and make sure you're hovering right above it. You can also use the coordinates to help you. Fly straight up from that block as best you can. Once you are straight up from that block, then we're going to have a bit of building. So remember what position it is. For me, I know it's in this. We're going to build from block here and build a tiny bit back. So once you're around this block, so the third block from this one, you place it. So this sticky piston will act as the thing that basically drops the sand. So once you did that, then you're going to put 2 pieces of stone like so, and we can go ahead and break this but you have to have this still. Then we'll place 2 stones at the side. The others for the lever and the redstone dust. Place those. And now we have to measure how long our line is. Your line might be a different and come to me, but let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this line we made out of sand is 10 blocks, though our sticky piston line also has. So once you get all the way back up, you've already made 1, so you have to make 9 more, and all facing the same direction. 2, 4, 6, 7. So now we have 10, and then we're also going to place stone the exact same. So 1 right piston on the sticky side and 1 on top. And you're going to place the redstone dust lever. There you go. Now when you click the lever, all should come properly, just like so. And the reason we have top stone is what I figured out. Sometimes if you don't have that stone, the sand doesn't drop. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So it's best to make sure the sand gets pushed off properly and drops well. So as you can see, all of them open up at about the same time. And now we have to check if this sand that drops is the same as the sand at the bottom. So we're going to place sand on all the pistons, or all the stone connected to the pistons. Then release the lever, and if we did everything right, it all should fall perfectly. This is not perfectly because I put extra sand, but that is level 1. You'll learn how to make it. Now we're going to try something else. So you learn how to make a line. Next is we're going to learn how to make a curve. I use lots of curves in all of my designs, and even though they're just blocks, you can still make curves out. So we can get rid of this line for now. But we're still going to repurpose some of the blocks. First, just try to make 5 pieces of sand in a row like this, then do 2 on either side, then do 1 on each. So that should be about 10. Hopefully you're done in the same spot. If you didn't, it's okay. You can do piston. So if you did do in the same spot, we still have our pistons up here. So 5 of the blocks are, but the other 5 or other 6 aren't. So now our piston, if you don't just make another pillar that goes up to the sky or building from, you have to figure out where sand lines up. So stand directly on top of it. They're flying straight up. Don't mess with your arrows or anything. If you want to use a command block to teleport you from top to bottom, go ahead. I just don't need it. For me, this is annoying. So right here is a piece. I'm gonna break this so I know. 1, 2, 4, 5. Break this one. So here are the 5. Just to make sure we can just like conquer and let it drop. See if it lines up. If it lands perfectly on top, which it did, that means it's all lined up. So now since we're making it, everything isn't in the exact same lines. So I can put the pistons in the same line. So from here, what you want to do is put the sticky piston, face it towards you. Sand's gonna be. Yeah, so the sticky side should be facing towards you. Supposed to be 1 up because the sand here is also 1 direction. So right here, we're also gonna put a stone. When you're doing this, you have to get all the redstone connected. I usually wait to do the redstone last because it's easier, but it just depends on you. So we have 2, and now we have to do this on the other side. Because it's not a straight line, we have to put the piston 1 head just like how it is on. And you also have to use piston to connect the redstone together. Just like that. 2 of these end blocks with 1 block each. So we're also going to the line with the stone, not the piston, because it's 1 block ahead. Place the stone, piston. That is fixed. You have to use stone to help stone. Once that's done, it should look something like this. Simple, but should match the curve. Then you can put the redstone cover. That's all. Then to check, you right against the stone and let it fall. And if it lines up perfectly, that means you did it correctly. So it did line up perfectly. So now you have to get rid of all the excess sand, and the whole thing works on the lever. Want to flick your lever on, place all the sand down, flick your lever, put all the stone little piston, it should all drop and it lands perfectly, which means you've done it right. Now we're going to move on to the next level. Okay, so we know how to make a line, know how to make a curve. Now let's try something a bit more difficult, a square. Squares are a bit more tricky because you have to line up the redstone properly. So let's start with these 5 pieces of sand that we got from the last 2 levels. So we have these 5 pieces of sand, just like a square, all are going to be the same. Well, each length is going to be the same length, sorry. So it should have a 5 by 5 block square, and it doesn't have to be filled in the middle. So now that we got that, we already know that the 5 at the bottom of the square, so these 5 line up perfectly, so we don't have to check those again. But we do gotta be careful. So let's go all the way back up. So because we don't need these corner rounded edge pieces, or like the rounded parts of the curve, don't need them, so we can just break them. And for this one, we have to keep our lever flicked. You might have already been doing that, so this will be good. But with the lever flicked on, the actual stone is, and will be, and where it's going to be on the grid. So from this, technically speaking, this would be the next block. But we have to move one back because the stone gets pushed by the piston. The piston should build from here, so it should be diagonal. Block right here. And you should also put the stone on top. Just like that. As I said before, if you watch the other part, this helps with the sand actually falling and not simply still being on the stone, if that makes sense. So 5 here, or 2 because we already put the first one. So a total of 4. So you have to remember that the sides, they share corners, making a total of 5. And since the corner's already here, we only have 2. So now we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Try to explain a bit better, sorry. So we're starting from this block right here because that's where the sand will be. So you have to start from one behind it, by the piston. Then we put the sticky side of the piston and put the stone on top of the first one. Then we build with stone, build the redstone dust together, and build another right next to it. So now our 3 sides done, they have to complete the 4th side. So generally speaking, it should be like this. But remember, the stone gets towards by the piston, sticky piston. You have to build one out. Then we are putting the seed for the stone. So stone like so. And you can one side or the other, but I would prefer this side closer to the lever. So you don't move the redstone like so, because then it makes it harder to turn off, and you don't want to deal with all that. So there we go. So now we have our full square. If you did it correctly, just like I did, then it should look like the square at the bottom. But to check we did it correctly, we're going to place all the sand. Click the switch. Should all fall perfectly. Satisfying, isn't it? But it's much better when we have other blocks and it forms a picture. That's what they always try to show in my shorts. So we have finished the square. Just to recap, what we did is that we put 5 pistons on each side and then opposite, just like so. So we make a full complete instead of it being long or just for one side. So 5 or 3. There's spaces in between, as if there's none, it won't form perfect. Here's our perfect square. Perfectly. On the very last, what we're going to do is a circle. So please be patient. It could be a bit difficult, so let's get into it. Alright, so you see in a line, a curve, and a square. Now we're going to do the hardest one, which is the circle. So please be patient while you do this, just like I said before, because it could get a bit difficult. So we're going to start off with the exact same 5 blocks we did all this time, so you can break everything in. I want you to copy the circle I do exactly. Don't, you'll probably mess up and you have to figure things out on your sort of sides. So have these 5 here. We're going to build 2. It's going to be similar to 1 on either side, and then 2, but this time facing that way. Then we're going to have 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. So it should look something like a circle. Yeah, so that's a pretty good circle. Also a pretty big one. So again, be patient, this might take some. So now that we got our circle, just let you know it's 5, 2, 2, but this time it's going the opposite direction or the 90 degree. And 5, 2, it's pointing to the left. Then 5, 1, 2, it's pointing down. 5, 2, 1, 2, it's pointing to the right. So there you go. We have our circle. So now we're going to go up to our redstone construction. Last time we made the square. This time we're going to be making a circle, and it's going to be similar to our curve. We're just putting several of them together. That's all it is. So we can get rid of all the other redstone parts we don't need. We need here. If you don't remember which 5, then you can test it by dropping some sand. It'll be alright. But from here, we're going to start. So I'm going to put the lever a bit farther away. Also probably going to here, so hopefully that's in your inventory. We're just going I'll be putting the lever here. You can put it wherever you want. Just so you know it could get in the way of your other redstone. So we're going to turn the lever on. Now these 5. And it's just going to be like the curve. One ahead, because in the circle the blocks are one ahead. And on the other side it's also one ahead. And one. Sometimes I do the rest at the end, sometimes I just go while I'm working, so it makes it easier. It depends on what you want. Now we got one curve. We're just putting 4 of these together to make a circle. And in a circle is just one curve technically in real life, but in Minecraft we're working with it's a bit different. So then we're going to use the same technique we're going to do with the square. So technically speaking, the stone should be right here. That's where the sand will be. But remember, the piston is stone forward. So you have to actually put a 1 back. Put the piston, the sticky side facing towards the stone. 2 more stone on here for the redstone. You notice that the redstone is getting a bit dimmer where the repeater comes. So we're going to put our repeater down, no delay on it, and there we go, we have redstone signal. Powerful. So after that, this time you have to go 1 back, because if you look at the circle, the next 5 blocks form that curve. So instead of doing 1 forward, we're doing 1 back. So just like so, should be diagonal other piston. 4, 5, right here. Then we're going to put stone on top. So, and redstone dust. Just like that. So now we have a curve in around half curve. And we're going to be putting, this time we're going to go forward because circle, as you can see this, the sand is forward. Well, I can't talk today. I'm going to place stone, that, which are sticky side, just like so. Then we see that one little piece, right, that connects both the curves. And then go 1 more in, stone, and put the redstone dust. So now you can see the redstone dust is getting a bit weak signal. Now we'll go to that. Technically speaking, well, first of all, technically speaking, next 2 stones should be here, but because the piston, again, I'm trying to emphasize this because it's really important when you do this by yourself. The piston pushes stone forward, so it has to go 1 back. Then you put the piston and put another. Once you can. Good. Not the piston because there's no stone, but we can fix that with the repeater. There we go. Redstone signal. Now we're going to go 1 more back because we have another 5, as you can see. The 1, 4, 5. And put the stone. And then connect using a bit of, and the redstone, of course. Then we have another 2. So if I'm going a bit fast, just pause the video or slow it down so up. So we have these next 2, and then we have the one going 1. So it's just the exact same thing over and over. So We're just repeating a pattern. Now we're doing the last curve. So as you can see, another 2 blocks that's going straight down. So the supposed to be here where the sand is, but then again the pit forward. So now the one back facing and the pistons have so just like that. Then I'm gonna here. Sometimes this happens where you don't have enough space for the redstone signal, so what you have to do is that you have to go around it where you do have the signal. So redstone is here. So, and you might be wondering if there's a loop, there won't be a loop because these redstone. So just like that. Check. Always turn off your lever. Everything gets retracted, then it works. For the very last part, we're going to go 1 back, 5, 10, down, 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 don't have it, and put the repeater. There we go. Now, if you did it all correctly, which I didn't, it's okay. But now there we go. Wondering did this have any stuff? You have made a circle. So if you want to watch that, please do. If you got confused, and if I'm not explaining it too well, just watch what I do and you should be fine. So now to check if we actually did the circle properly, I'm going to put the sand and make sure your lever's on this. I'm going to put this on all stone pieces that are extended out from the piston. And then we're going to flip the lever. If it lines up perfectly with the we place on the ground, it should be alright. Yep, it is alright. It lined up perfectly, no blocks are out. If blocks are out of place, try to find the solution by looking at the bottom where it is. Like for example, if this fell here instead, what I would do is that I would drop myself perfectly on the block, fly straight up, and see where the problem was. If the piston bar in, hopefully you should be able to find it easily. I proved everything while I'm preparing for my shorts. Yeah, so since there was no mistake, if there was a piston one out, or technically one in, but there wasn't, so it was fine. So as you can see, making these aren't as easy as it looks, especially if you get more complicated kinds like Pixar and such, which I've been starting to get into lately. But with enough practice, you'll be a natural. I got plenty of practice making so many shorts for you guys, and now it's really easy. So remember to practice this. I would love to see this in another video. It'll be really cool if you guys would use these techniques. And if you have an easier way to do this, let me know. It would be really great to hear from you. So that is it for levels are complete. I hope this tutorial was helpful with you and a big insight to what I do for my shorts, because it means a lot to me that you guys watch them and have subscribed as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I really want to hit 1,000 subscribers soon. And that's going to be it. So I hope you all have a safe and wonderful day. Bye!